This tutorial is for first grade, Module 6, Lesson 6. In this lesson, we're going to use the greater than, less than symbol to help us compare two-digit numbers. At the top, I have a reminder of what the symbols look like and what they mean. For example, this first symbol is the greater than symbol. I remember it by looking at how the symbol is formed. The wider part of the symbol always goes by the larger number, and the pointed smaller part of the symbol goes by the smaller number. Going across, you can see that this is the less than symbol. So we use this symbol when the smaller number's on the left. And again, the pointed part points to the smaller number, and the wide open part is next to the large number. And we would read this as 53 is less than 56. So now let's put in the appropriate symbols down below. We have the number 25 and the number 32. So 25 is less than 32, so I'm going to point my arrow toward the smaller number, and I would read this as 25 is less than 32. Going across, I have the number 78 and 80. 78 is less than 80, so I would draw the arrow so that I'm pointing toward the smaller number, and the wide open part is next to the larger number, and I would read this as 78 is less than 80. Continuing on, I have the number 100, and I'm comparing it to 99. So 100 is greater than, so I'll make my arrow so that the wide part is next to the larger number, the pointed part is next to the smaller number. I would read this statement as 100 is greater than 99. In question D, I have the number 93, and I'm comparing it to a number that has 8 tens and 3 ones. Well, if it has 8 tens and 3 ones, it's actually the number 83. And since it only has 8 tens, and I'm comparing it to a number that has 9 tens, I know that 93 is greater than 83. And again, the wide part is next to the larger number. Next, I have a number that has 9 tens and 8 ones. So we can think of that as 98, and I'm comparing it to a number that has 10 tens. Well, 10 tens is the same as 100. 98 is less than 100, so I'm going to draw my arrow, making sure that the wide portion is next to the larger number and the pointed part is next to the smaller number. And I would read this as 9 tens and 8 ones is less than 10 tens. Moving across, I have a number that has 6 tens and 2 ones, so that would be the number 62. And I'm comparing it to a number that has 2 tens and 6 ones, so that would be the number 26. 62 is greater than 26, so I'll draw my arrow with the wider portion next to the larger number, and I would read this as 62 is greater than 26. The next section says to circle the correct words to make the sentence true, and then use the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol and numbers to write a true statement. In problem A, I'm comparing 29 to a number that has 2 tens and 9 ones. Well, 2 tens and 9 ones is also 29. That means that 29 is equal to 29. And I'll write that number statement. 29 is equal to 29. It's helpful to have the students actually read these number statements out loud so they can match the words to the symbols. Going across to problem B, I'm now comparing a number that has 7 tens and 9 ones to the number 80. 7 tens and 9 ones is the number 79. 79 is less than 80, so we'll write that statement. 79 is less than 80. This is the less than symbol. It's pointing toward the smaller number. The open part is pointing toward the larger number. I have a couple more examples. Here I'm starting with 10 tens and 0 ones. Well, 10 tens is the same as 100, and I'm comparing that to 0 tens and 10 ones. Well, 10 ones is the same as the number 10. 100 is greater than 10. and I'll write that as a statement. 100 is greater than 10. In question D, I have a number that has 6 tens and 1 1. That would be the number 61. I'm comparing that to a number that has 5 tens and 16 ones. Well, let's think about those 16 ones. 16 ones has a group of 10, so in all I really have 6 tens and 6 ones. So I'll write 66. 61 is less than 66, and we'll write that as a statement. 61 is less than 66. And in the last section, I'll make the same comparison, sometimes using the word form of numbers and sometimes just the standard number form. So question A says that we have 3 tens and 9 ones. We're comparing it to 5 tens and 9 ones. Well, 3 tens and 9 ones would be 39. 5 tens and 9 ones would be 59. And obviously we have less tens on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. So we would read that as 3 tens and 9 ones is less than 5 tens and 9 ones. Here I'm comparing the number 30 to 13. So 30 is greater than 13. Next I'm comparing 100 to 10. 100 is greater than 10. And finally I'm comparing 6 tens and 4 ones to 4 ones and 6 tens. These are actually naming the same number because they both have 6 tens and they both have 4 ones. So we'll say that 6 tens and 4 ones is equal to 4 ones and 6 tens. So again, this is practicing using the greater than, less than symbols and actually saying the number statement when we make those comparisons.